Hey, Coach, just curious, pass rush wise, in terms of what you saw yesterday, what you've seen the last 2 weeks, knowing that Trayvon, yes, is in the club, but the production you're getting, what changes can you make to generate more of a pass rush in the weeks ahead?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's touch and go, right? When we've been able to send some pressure and get some blitzes and get these guys moving, we've had some more opportunities. It's interesting when you speak to a lot of the guys in LA after the game and how much Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, multiple guys, all they do is talk about our front and what it causes. I think more, in the run and some of the pressures and packages and guys that are able to do stuff. So it's a balance of being able to send five, send four, send pressure, whether it's zone or man behind it also impacts sometimes the front and their ability to get home when the ball has to get held on to for another click. I think you look at our third downs and I think in the last two games they're like two people are like two or three of 20. It's like one of the most insane third downs going that you can see out there. So if we're able to do it on third downs and get after the quarterback and impact the receivers and the coverage, we've got to find ways to do it as well a little bit better on first and second down and some of our early down fronts, looking at what fronts we're playing. Are we, getting more four down, five down, whatever it is, to be able to create an advantage for our guys to be able to go. And I think having Trayvon back a little bit more this week and get him going a little bit more on early downs, we kind of saved him a little bit more for the rush downs, and we've got to give him some more opportunities. But yeah, it has to improve just like the rest of it.
And just to be clear, obviously, I'm sure you're very happy with Trayvon, and obviously it's an unfair assessment given the club the last 2 weeks. But in terms of the other guys on the edge, knowing both BJ and Danny were up this week, limited run on defense, do you feel like you're getting enough out of Josh, Smoot, Agba, and then those two younger guys beyond Trayvon?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're always you want more every week from everybody when you don't win, right? And so I think it's not just that group. I think it's those guys know they can play better. We can put them in better positions to be successful. We hadn't played great. The last 2 weeks, these two teams have been able to stay on course a lot, right? You gave up 80 something yards rushing and it felt like 150 because they were able to just kind of stay on schedule. And then when we did stop them on third down, we have a penalty. So it compounds when a team is able to stay on schedule. You're maybe not going to feel as much of a rush. And I think that those guys know they can play better and we can help them a little bit more as well.
Sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jamal, followed by Mark.
What's going on, Coach? Going into the bye week after a couple of rough games, but you're still 4-3. I mean, you don't feel like you got to reinvent the wheel. Is you have to kind of remind yourself a little bit of that
That
even
was
in a couple of rough weeks to not try and change too much.
Yeah, that's what we just talked about as a staff was, we cannot absolutely not go back and try to reinvent the wheel here, right? We're sitting at 4-3, everything's ahead of us. Um, it we got to play cleaner football, guys. That's the reality. And until you play cleaner, in between the whistles, right? In between the white lines of playing more fundamentally sound, having better situational awareness, executing and handling the controllables, guys. That's where we're at. Like we have to pour into that and find out, okay, these 2 days that we have as a staff, all right, what do we do best? Like what are the things that we do best in all three phases? Go and dive into and pour into those things. How do we continue to trim the inventory as a group so that we're not watering down the fundamentals and techniques of our core principles of the things that's going to make up 80%, 85% of your call sheet. That's just how I've been taught to get back on track personally. There's times, yeah, where you got to go and dig deep and go reinvent the wheel because you've got a bunch of holes. Well, I don't think that's the case. We have not played our best the last 2 weeks going into the bye, which does kind of suck. It does. It's not a great feeling, but everything's ahead of us, and my thing to this team is going to be, man, guys, we have done so many good things. We are a really good football team, but not when we hurt ourselves.
Going into the bye week, you got a handful of games under your belt with Trevor running the offense. I mean, what have you liked that you've seen from him so far? And I mean, where are those kind of growth points for him, maybe the rest of the way that you need to see him improve down the stretch?
Yeah, I think, you looked at the last, really, even going back to Kansas City, the one interception was, as we know, a tough call there, but he's taking care of the football. We have thrown from now. I don't want to throw the ball as many times as we've thrown it, not because of him, just because of staying balanced. But we were able to create some explosives in this past week. Obviously, it became one of those kind of games. We've got to start faster. Like, we have got to start faster as an offense at the quarterback position, not take a little bit of time to get into the flow. That's on us to also help. All right, hey, these are the exactly what we're thinking early on. Hey, these are the calls, these are the thoughts, this is the exact looks we're thinking about getting. How do we prepare better and continue to take advantage of our operation, trying to be an edge? I mean, we were better in and out of the huddle last week. We're better from that standpoint, but we've got to make the easy ones easy. And we've also, I mean, I thought he stood in there, took some shots too. We also got to, we can't take so many sacks either, from all 11 though. Sacks are all 11. It's the route, it's the quarterback, it's the running back, it's the OL. Those are things that we can control.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Mark, followed by Brent.
Man, you make it sound so easy. Like piece of cake. What about bringing in a kicker?
Nah,
Can you do that during the bye week?
No. Got a lot of confidence in Cam still, bro. I do. I talked to Cam. He was in here today. He's not going anywhere, and we're not doing anything with it. He's going to get away from this thing for a few days and go reset. And the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is, we're starting fresh when we get back in here. We have to. Got a lot of confidence in the guy. I do. He's very talented. And look, when you walk him out there, obviously a guy that's was struggling a little, right? And then you'd love for the first attempt in the game to maybe be like a 30-yarder or something to just, all right, whew, here we go. I'm good. Well, he strolls out there in a 21-0 game where you're struggling to find points. You want to just see points on the board for morale, and you walk him out there for a 50-yarder in Wembley in a game that not much is going right. So it's hard to sit there and say, man, we've lost timing and certainty. He knows he's got to make these kicks. It's not he takes so much accountability, and so he's going to kick his way out of this thing, and he's going to make some big kicks for us this year.
Devin Lloyd update. You expect him after the bye back?
It's still TBD on this week. Hopeful, but we're trying to be also smart with it, with figuring out, okay, what's the best to get him feeling as good as he can to go play at a highest level.
And then penalties. That was I think the one thing you didn't really address there of of how easily that's fixable. That seems to be, I mean, it's
not easy. Yeah.
That's been the toughest thing since August, since July rolled around.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at him, when I was talking to our game management coordinator this morning, John Dykeman, just talking through when he was at Detroit and they had a new staff, you look at the top 5 teams and penalties in the NFL right now, 4 of them are first-time head coaches.
Oh, wow.
4 out of the top 5 right now in the NFL are first-year teams. So you got controllable penalties, you got some uncontrollables, you've got some calls that may or may not have been, and you've got some really bad luck when it comes to penalties. I'm just talking about in general, right?
Yeah, like the Travis Hunter one. Yeah.
Like, it's just that those happen, and we are, let's just say, putting it in their hands too often. And that's with like moving our feet and coverage and not like there's a difference between your hands being inside and your hands being outside. Like, there's a difference there. That's technique. That's fundamental. That's not panicking at the moment of a truth. We've got obviously the unnecessary roughness on Dewey in the end zone that I don't know how to, coach that one any different, but you've got the roughing the passer then we had two illegal ineligible men downfield on screens. Those are controllable. We can detail those better in practice. The timing of it, who's getting out when they blitz, like that's on us as coaches as well. So there's a bunch on it. There's some controllables, some non-controllables. There's some bad luck. Look, until we clean up our football, guys, it's just it's going to be hard. And so that's the message and the amount of detail. All I know is how to fix this is to pour into the fundamentals and the details and the basics, because it's not like, oh, we've made up some new annexation of Puerto Rico play and we got a penalty on it. It's like we're playing, half field and there's a 7 cut and we hit them before the ball gets there. Like we can control that. So the ones we can control by coaching and practicing and playing, like that's on us and we have to control those.
I'm good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Brent, followed by Justin.
Hey Liam, hopefully you can hear me. I'm in the airport, but that's an interesting note that 4 out of 5 rookie coaches or first year coaches, sorry. What do you take from that? Is that it takes a while to get the message across, or
new
learn it?
fundamentals, new techniques, new what you're asking them to do, new style of play. I don't know. That's what I'm kind of going off of is like you're ultimately all new together. And so maybe some of the like fundamentals get blurred. That's why I'm saying, guys, we have to simplify. The answer for me to fix penalties is to simplify what we're asking them to do so that when you're in a moment of crisis or time of a big play or something, well, you've played this technique this many times, you know exactly what the call is, you are anticipating what your opponent is doing, and now you're playing cleaner. You're playing cleaner. I'm blocking mid-zone, and my hand is not out here. My hand is inside the way that we practice it to be every week. I mean, guys, there's a lot of teams in this league that don't have officials at practice every day and don't put up the penalties and stuff of the week. And I almost feel like gotta emphasize it. Like I don't know how to emphasize it more. And that's what I don't want to have these guys playing in the back of their minds. Like if I do this, I'm going to get a penalty. It's not about that. It's about, guys, we got to play cleaner. We got to play cleaner with our hands, with our feet, with our mind. Are we getting fatigued? And physically fatigued, which is now slowing down the brain and the legs, and now we're reaching and grabbing for straws. I mean, we're trying to make a play when you're down 21 or 14 nothing playing against a good team. A lot of that goes into it, guys, and so I don't know what that is, Brent, but that's my kind of long-winded answer. Sorry.
No, I appreciate it. One more thing. 7 games have been different. Obviously, the first 4 or 5 were a little more similar, but do you feel like you know your football team, like who the Jaguars are right now, or not really yet?
I think there's definitely glimpses of who we want to be in a lot of ways. I think, there's you've won four games and everything is right in front of you. I think this is a actual test of adversity. When we lost to Cincinnati, I didn't think, that there was no question that we should have won the game, right? Like you're leading the game for 89 minutes and you lose. You didn't feel like the ship was moving. It was still very steady. You've lost 2 games in 2 weeks, not playing very well and against some darn good opponents. And when you don't play very well and you're not clean and we're not fundamentally sound, you're not doing those things, you're not going to beat playoff caliber teams like that. And so I think when I do know this team in terms of I believe that we compete, that we're tough, that we care a lot, that we don't quit. The reality is what we need to do better is we need to coach the details and we need to rep the details and put them into action on a more consistent basis, or else this may be this is not a fun result that we're living in right now.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
We have time for just two more questions. We'll go to Justin and then to John Shipley.
Hey Liam, I know you guys are going to look at everything this week and you're looking at penalties and all of that. How do you think you would assess Travis's performance to this point? And do you think you'll kind of look at everything he's done to this point and update the plan that you have for him?
Yeah, I think that is absolutely going to be a part of the conversation this evening with both sides of the football. I thought that there was some definite flashes yesterday in terms of on offense specifically. He had a great pass breakup as well on defense, and we are going to play the best 11 as much as humanly possible after this bye. Like we've kind of gotten a sample size, as you mentioned, a sample size of everything, the totality of the first 7 weeks of every position, but specifically with him. There was definitely some really good things the other night, specifically on the offensive side of the ball. There's still a lot of things that need to be cleaned up and corrected. And then we've got to just make sure we're playing the best guys at all times and see what that looks like. So that will 100% be a part of this evaluation and conversation over the next few days here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last one, Shipley.
Hey, Liam, thanks for doing this. It seemed like the Ferguson touchdown yesterday seemed a lot like the AJ Barner play the week before. Just how do you guys kind of go about, the self-scouting when you see a team kind of like picking up on a tendency, and where do you kind of go from there?
Yeah, that was the same exact play. Versus a very similar defensive structure. It was 4th and 1. We're in our essentially a 6-1 front, a front that we use a decent amount in goal line, short yardage, low red zone situations that a lot of people are using. Maybe we need to play a little bit more post safety or something like that in some of those situations to not give up the middle of the field. We sold out a little bit up front and they hit us on the same play. So kudos to Sean and them. They did a great job of scheming us up, but we don't jump off sides on the previous play, then we're not in that situation. So I definitely think that we've got to look at, like, that's exactly to your point, is the things that we're looking at is, okay, we've gotten hit on a similar type play. I don't remember exactly what the D&D at Seattle was. I don't recall the exact D&D.
I want to say it was an early down. I think it was like
Yeah, I
first
don't
or
think it
second.
was short yardage, but
Yeah.
similar play. And so, okay, you're clearly showing something that's there for them to take. And when you get into heavier sets, what are we playing? They played a lot more 13 personnel the other day than we expected and anticipated. We expected some more 12 with Puka being out. Didn't necessarily envision or see a ton of 13 show up. And that was what they hit that play out of as well. So they were able to max pro it and get Ferguson on the lean post and run away. So yeah, that was definitely a brutal one. And that's exactly what we're looking at is in these situations, in these personnel groupings, exactly like what is our best calls and priority calls that we can put these guys in.
Thanks, Liam. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All set. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys.